All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another HF Vikings baseball broadcast. I'm Dylan Barnes. I'm going to be calling this game and all others throughout the season, both home and away. So if you can't make a game, tune in right here to our YouTube channel. The Vikings today will be taking on the Celtics of Providence Catholic. The Providence Catholic Celtics are 8-1. They're 4-0 in their last four, with wins coming over Hinsdale Central, De La Salle, DePaul College Prep, and Joliet Catholic. On the flip side, the Vikings of Homewood-Flossmoor are 0-4 in their last four. They've lost at the hands of Marist, St. Xavier in Kentucky twice, and then last game, a walk-off three-run homer was the Vikings' last loss at the hands of Trinity. On the mound today for the Vikings is going to be the left-hander Vince Waterman. Behind him in the infield is going to be Nico Bilgi at third, Rob Tate at short, Corey Mulling at second, and Demir Heidelberg at first. Josh Moore is the catcher, pairing with Vince Waterman. And behind the infield is Isaiah White in left, Dylan Head in center, and Jason Ballard in right.
The HF Broadcasting program will be streaming all of our home games this year, and if you have loved ones, friends, and family, or even people you don't like very much who would like to stream the game, just go to YouTube and find at HF Vikings Baseball. Again, at HF Vikings Baseball.
So this game will get underway soon. Hopefully, this will be the first game that the Vikings get back in the win column over their spring break.
Leading off, shortstop number 21, Yala.
Leading off for the Celtics here in this top of the first inning is going to be the shortstop, Nolan Galla. Here's the first pitch from Waterman. This game is underway with a ball inside to the shortstop, Galla. Good day for baseball here in Homewood-Flossmoor. It's about 50 degrees, sunny. Is that 1-1 is hit past a dive of Nico Bilgi, and Nolan Galla has himself a leadoff extra base hit as he is in there safely with a double to start this game for the Celtics.
Yala doubles down left field line to lead off the game for the
Enzo and Felice
Infelice.
is the catcher, and he's the batter currently for the Celtics. He's going to try and give the Celtics an early lead here. He fouls one back. 0-1. So Galla doubled on this down the left field line on the second pitch of the game. That second pitch to Enfelice is in the dirt, 1-1.
Yeah, new screen coming eventually. Nice green screen will go around the fence. Looks real sharp on paper, but overdue.
Waterman comes set. The 1-1. Below the zone, bringing the count to 2-1. Is lined into center field, and that ball is off the top of the wall. It'll stay in the yard, and that's going to be a long single for Enfelice, but that is going to give the Providence Catholic Celtics a 1-0 lead here in this top of the first. Hard hit single that hit off the top of that elevated wall out there in center field. Kept that ball in the yard and kept Enfelice to a single. But it gives the Celtics an early 1-0 lead.
Early 1-0 lead brings up the DH, number 7, Gomez.
The DH, Gavin Gomez, stepping to the dish now. That curveball from Waterman was left upstairs, 1-0. That one hit in the air to right. Ballard going to his left on the track, and he'll settle under it to make the play. That fly ball drove Jason Ballard all the way back to the track, maybe about 2 steps in front of the wall, but he was able to settle under it for the first out of this top of the first.
Clean up man, first baseman, number 2, Jude Allen.
The first baseman, Jude Allen, stepping in now for the Celtics.
The rest of them don't get first names.
First baseman takes low and away.
I think he's got the first names over here.
Yeah, and they don't give me.
No.
He had to do research.
Oh, there you go.
He had to look on the game changer.
Oh, okay.
Waterman comes set. The 1-0 to Allen is hit into the hole between Nico Bilgi and Rob Tate, who is shading towards second. And that is a 1-out single for Jude Allen. It's going to send the pitcher, Nate O'Donnell, to the dish.
Next up for the Celtics pitcher, number 1, O'Donnell.
He's got runners on first and second with only 1 out for the Celtics.
Keeps hitting.
As he fouls one off himself. 0-1. Celtics have an early 1-0 lead, threatening to score more here in this top of the first. But as we know, the Vikings can score. That curveball's in there for strike 2. Good breaking ball there from Waterman. Started outside, but then broke back in over the plate to get strike 2 on O'Donnell. Waterman way ahead in the count, 0-2 on O'Donnell. That fastball's hit to Bilgi at third. He comes up with it, steps on third, and fires across himself. Not going to get O'Donnell at first, as that throw was a little bit up the line for Demir Heidelberg, but it's going to be a fielder's choice either way. And that's going to be the second out of this Celtics top of the first. That could have been an inning-ending double play, but Bilgi was rushing a little bit as that ball was hopping weirdly, and he had to corral it on a short hop and then come up with it, step on the base at third, and then try and fire across his body to get O'Donnell at first. But either way, he gets an out. Same situation for the second baseman, Pierre Dennett. First and second, but 2 outs now.
No.
He fouls one back.
I like it.
0-1.
French tradition, right?
I wonder if I said his first name wrong too. Or last name.
Oh, right.
0-1. Dennett squares. Fouls it off of Moore. Hopefully he's okay. Seems to be a little shaken up. Maybe got hit in a place that,
Right chest protector.
yeah,
But that's not too bad of a play.
hit right off of Moore's chest protector. Could have been a lot worse. But he seems to be fine. He's a warrior back there. And Waterman ahead in the count on Dennett.
Moore's okay after
0-2.
taking one off the chest protector. Nobody claps for the catcher.
Expected.
So Waterman trying to get out of this top of the first with only 1 run for the Celtics. And he will, as that one swords Dennett. He's tried to check his swing, could not. And at the end of the top of the first, the Celtics score 2 in their first. The Celtics score 1 in their first 2 batters, and then don't score a single run for the rest of the inning. So at the end of the top of the first inning, it's the Celtics 1 and the Vikings coming to bat. Leading off this bottom of the first inning for the Vikings is going to be the center fielder, Dylan Head. He went 2 for 4 with a home run, 2 RBIs, 3 runs in the game against Trinity on Wednesday. He also stole 3 bases. As he watches first pitch low, ball 1. On the mound for the Celtics is Nate O'Donnell. His battery mate is Enzo and Felice. Head watches ball 2 outside. The infield is Eddie Oldsa at third base, Nolan Galla at third, Pierre Dannett at second, and Jude Allen at first. We'll tell you the outfield after this 2-0 pitch to Head. Head fouls that one down the third base line. The outfield is Jacob Garcia in left, Nate Sayalaba in center, and Lucas Winters in right. Head ahead in the count, 2-1. As he chops one towards Allen at first. He's going to flip to O'Donnell, and he's going to beat Head to the base. That's a very tough play for the Celtics, but it's a good one as Allen flips to O'Donnell for the first out of this Vikings bottom of the first.
One out in the inning. Brings up the shortstop, number 2, Robert Tate.
Shortstop Rob Tate stepping to the dish now. And we have a mound visit, I believe, for whatever reason. Maybe just it's maybe about 5 words said in that brief visit. But either way, Rob Tate stepping to the dish. He went 1 for 5 with an RBI and a run scored against Trinity on Wednesday. He watches ball 1 up and in. Oh, look, it's another mound visit. Yet again, it contained maybe 5 words maximum. So not Head. Rob Tate is ahead in the count, 1-0. He swings through an O'Donnell fastball, evening the count at 1-1. Tate takes a fastball on the outside corner for strike 2. That pitch from O'Donnell seemed to have late tail to it. Sort of came back in over the outside corner. 1-2 from Tate is lined foul. O'Donnell did hang that slider up in the zone, or that breaking ball. So if Tate could have gotten the barrel around on that one, could have sent that one into left field. But 1-2 from O'Donnell is another breaking ball. Left it up, 2-2. This count is even, 2-2 on the shortstop Tate, who wears number 2. He takes a fastball outside corner and it gets him looking. First strikeout for the righty O'Donnell sends Rob Tate back to the dugout.
Tate goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning.
But Jason Ballard stepping in for the Vikings is
number 5, Jason Ballard.
Ballard went 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored, a stolen base, and a walk against Trinity. He takes ball 1 upstairs. Ballard is currently the Vikings' leader in batting average, batting .552 on the year through 11 games. Pretty good. He watches strike 1. He's also the Vikings' walks leader, so his on-base percentage is over 600, which is just incredible to think about. He watches a curveball upstairs, 2-1. Ballard trying to get something going for the Vikings with 2 outs. He watches a fastball outside, bringing the count to 3-1. So Ballard can extend his lead in the walks category for the Vikings to 11. He was trying to take the lead in the home run category. He, Dylan Head, and Preston Lund are all tied with 2 for the Vikings lead. But, yeah, that one was sent into the golf course across the street. But it's going to bring the count to a full 3-2. That one from O'Donnell is upstairs, and Jason Ballard has his 11th walk in 11 games.
Ballard draws a 2-out walk.
The DH, Preston Lund, stepping to the plate now.
The designated hitter,
Lund was 3 for 5 with a home run, triple, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored on Wednesday against the Shamrocks of Trinity. He was a double shy of the cycle. He takes a fastball outside. He told me that he was trying to go for that double in his last at-bat. Ended up singling again. But he's ahead in the count 1-0 on O'Donnell. Ballard takes off. And Ballard is thrown out. A good throw from the catcher, and Felice ends this Vikings bottom of the first inning. So at the end of the first, it's the Celtics 1 and the Vikings none. Leading off this top of the second inning for the Celtics is going to be the left fielder Jacob Garcia. He'll face Waterman back on the mound for his second inning of work. Ball 1 in the dirt. Waterman was able to get out of some trouble in the first. It seemed destined that the Celtics were going to score multiple runs, but they only ended up coming out with 1, as there's ball 2 off the plate. Celtics went double and single to start the game. As there's a fastball off the plate yet again, having Waterman in a very quick 3-0 hole. Trying to avoid the leadoff walk. And he cannot, he can, excuse me. That one got away from Moore, but it was a strike. Moore tried to frame it before he had it in his glove. But it brings a count to 3-1. That one's hit on the ground. Rob Tate does not have a play, and that's going to be a single to start this top of the second inning for Jacob Garcia.
Garcia singles sharply to left, brings up right fielder number 5, Lucas Winters.
The right fielder, Lucas Winters, now stepping in for the Celtics. He'll have a runner on first and nobody out. If he could hit one on the ground to Rob Tate, just standing right there at short, that would be greatly appreciated. Or strike out, as he's 33% of the way there. Waterman comes set. Winters squares bunt. Pulls back. That one was just high, evening the count at 1-1. Bilgi was charging hard from third. He squares again, gets it down this time. Waterman up with it, fires to first. Demir Heidelberg stays on the bag. For the first out of this Celtics top of the second, it's going to be a sacrifice, 1-3 in the scorebook.
Waterman to get the out. Brings up the bottom of the order for the Celtics, number 20, Eddie Olsta.
That bunt advanced Jacob Garcia to second. It's going to send Eddie Olsta, the third baseman, to the dish with a runner on second and 1 out. He watches strike 1 from Waterman. The 9-hitter in the Celtics lineup, trying to give them their second run of the day. 0-1 from Waterman is lined one hop to Corey Mulling, goes to his knees and makes a not a spectacular play, but a fine play. But it was hit right at him, but he had to go to his knees as that one was hit pretty sharply. But it advances Garcia to third with 2 outs. But now Waterman is going to have to face the top of the order in Nolan Galla. Shortstop doubled down the left field line his first time up. As he takes strike 1. He checked his swing, but that was probably a strike regardless. A 1 from Waterman. Breaking ball. Up and out, 1-1. Galla trying to come through for the Celtics. Extend their lead. 1-1 from Waterman. It's upstairs, ball 2. Two 1 from Waterman. In the dirt, ball 3. The catcher, Enzo Infelice, waits on deck. He hit that hard single off the top of the center field wall to score Galla from second his first time up. 3-1 from Waterman is in there for strike 2. So that's going to bring the count to a full 3-2 with 2 outs for the leadoff man, Nolan Galla. Runner on third, 2 outs. Full count pitch. Up and out. Ball 4. So runners on the corners now for the catcher and Felice.
Yeah, draws the 2-out clock. Runners on first and third for the catcher, Enzo Infelice.
What number is this, 9?
He singled off the top of the wall. Usually when you see a ball hit off the center field wall, it's extra bases, but Felice is not, he was not running hard out of the box, and it probably wouldn't have been extra bases anyways. He grounds one towards Bilgi, off Bilgi's glove, and that's going to be the second run for the Celtics. So Felice now has both RBIs for the Celtics today, and the Celtics take a 2-0 lead.
Single left plates the second run of the day for the Celtics. Next up, number 7, Gomez.
The DH, Gavin Gomez, stepping to the dish now. He's got runners on first and second with 2 outs. So this top of the order for the Celtics has been a big thorn in Vince Waterman's side, as both runs have come at the hands of Felice. As Gomez watches a curveball in there for strike 1. A 1 from Waterman is upstairs. Ball 1. That one had the plate, but it was just too high for Gomez. Brings the count to a even 1-1. That one's in the dirt. Ball 2. Waterman trying to limit the damage. Takes off the throw by Moore. Not in time. to get Gala, who swipes third, and Enfelice is right behind him at second. So now Gomez has a 3-1 count on him.
80% sure.
Waterman does have a base open, but the cleanup man Jude Allen waits on deck. There's a big swing and a miss from Gomez. Has a count at a full 3-2 for the second time this inning. Full count pitch from Waterman. Grounded to Mulling at second. He's up with it, and that is going to be the third out of the Celtics' top of the second inning. So through 1.5, it's the Celtics 2 and the Vikings nothing. Leading off this bottom of the second inning is Preston Lund. The DH came to the plate last inning, but then was sent back to the dugout after Jason Ballard's caught stealing. Ended the inning as he sends one into left field. That ball's hit well, and that ball is gone! Preston Lund has his third home run of the Vikings season. And it cuts the Celtics' lead in half, 2-1. That ball was hit on a rope, and it just kept on carrying over Garcia's head. And Preston Lund is now the Vikings' home run leader with 3.
Lund cuts the Celtics lead in half.
That ball was roped. That didn't even have the wind helping it. That flag is staying completely still.
Mulling.
So now that'll give the Vikings lineup some juice. Mulling sends one into right center field. That ball's going to get down. As Winters slips out there and right, comes up with it, keeping Mulling to a single. But the Vikings have 2 pitches. The Vikings have seen 2 pitches in this bottom of the second and have hit both of them.
Next batter for your Vikings, first baseman number 31, Demir Heidelberg.
Sophomore first baseman Demir Heidelberg stepping to the dish now. He was 2 for 4 with a walk and 2 runs scored against Trinity. O'Donnell comes set. Pitch to Heidelberg. Bottom of the zone. Good pitch there from O'Donnell. 0-1. Heidelberg has the power to give the Vikings the lead here if he can get one in the air towards left. He takes a breaking ball off the plate, evening the count at 1-1. He sends one right back to O'Donnell. A nice play by him, and that's going to be a 1-6-3 double play. O'Donnell threw to Gala, who threw to Allen. And just like that, Mulling's single is erased. It sends Josh Moore to the dish with 2 outs.
The catcher, number 6, Josh Moore.
Moore was 2 for 4 against Trinity on Wednesday. He takes ball 1 in the dirt. Moore's batting .522 on the year, only behind Jason Ballard. He chops one foul, 1-1. A Providence coach could not come up with that one as it rolled toward their dugout, so he's getting some flack from the players. But count is even, 1-1. That one on the outside corner has O'Donnell ahead in the count, 1-2. Swing and a miss from Moore, and that is going to end this Vikings bottom of the second inning. So it was a quick inning, but the Vikings do get one on Preston Lund's solo shot to left. At the end of 2, it's a Celtics 2, Vikings 1. Vince Waterman still on the mound for the Vikings, his third inning of work. He's going to face the first baseman, Jude Allen, to lead off this top of the third inning. Allen singled to left his first time up in the first inning. He takes ball 1 upstairs. 1-0. Off the end of the bat to Mulling at second. Flips to Heidelberg for the first out of this top of the third inning for the Celtics. That's a good sign for Waterman, as if he can get through this top 4, the rest of the lineup, 5 through 9, is a combined 1 for 5 against him. The only single was at the hands of Jacob Garcia. But O'Donnell bounced out to third his first time up. Another one of those would be appreciated right about now. Give Waterman a quick inning. That one's bounced in there for ball 1. One-0 from Waterman. High and out. 2-0. If Waterman can get a quick inning of work, then maybe he'll be able to go 4 or 5 innings. He has labored through these first 2 innings, as that one's fouled back by O'Donnell. 2-1. He's only allowed 2 runs, but he's faced. This will be his 14th batter. Celtics have stranded a few men on base. 2-1 from Waterman. Is hit on the ground to Bilgi. And look at that. It's a ground ball to Nico Bilgi. Once again, folks, my psychic powers are developing.
Nice play by Bilgi. Even nicer play on the other end by Heidelberg to find the bag. Second out of the inning brings up second baseman number 11, Pierre Dene.
Second baseman Pierre Dene. Stepping to the dish now. He struck out his first time up. He watches ball one, little high. Waterman trying to go 1-2-3 in this top of the third inning, something he has not done in this game. As that one was bounced in front of the plate, 2-0. Waterman rocks back, 2-0 to Dene. Low and outside yet again, ball 3. So Waterman trying to avoid a 2-out walk, extending the inning to Jacob Garcia, who waits on deck. But the 3-0 is just off the plate. It's a 4-pitch walk.
Next up for the Celtics, number 22, Jacob Garcia.
Jacob Garcia is the only hitter outside of the top 4 for the Celtics who has a hit against Vince Waterman. He singled to left his last time up. As he lines one into left center field again, he's 2 for 2 on the day. Head cuts, he can't cut it off, and Dene's going to be waved around, and the throw from Rob Tate is not in time. A close play at the plate, and it nets the Celtics their 3rd run of the game.
If you're going to celebrate, keep the ball in the dugout. Celtics played a run.
That one was a very close play at the plate. As a good throw, it was a good throw by Rob Tate, but it was a little bit up the first base line. If he puts it right on Josh Moore at the plate, that's likely the 3rd out of the inning, as there's ball 1 upstairs to Lucas Winters. The right fielder sack bunted in his first time up. He sends one down the third base line, foul, 1-1. So Waterman and Winters even in the count, 1-1. Breaking ball upstairs, 2-1. Big swing and a miss there from Winters, 2-2. So the Celtics have scored 1 in each of the first 3 innings. Waterman trying to keep it at just 1. He's done a good job of limiting damage so far, and he continues that as Winters strikes out to end this top of the 3rd inning. And Garcia comes through clutch for the Celtics, plating their 3rd run of the game. But after the top of the 3rd, it's the Celtics 3 and the Vikings 1. Leading off this bottom of the third inning is the third baseman Nico Bilgi. He went 1 for 3 with a home run on Wednesday as he skies one down the third base line, out of play, foul. Bilgi's put some great swings on the ball recently. Unfortunately, they've just been hit right at people. But he's hitting the ball hard, not striking out as much as he was to start the season. So hopefully that's a good thing to come for the senior third baseman, as his bat will be a big boost to this already potent Vikings lineup as he chops one towards Allen at first. He'll take it himself. That's going to be the first out of this Vikings half of the third. It's going to send left fielder Isaiah White to the plate with nobody on and one out.
Number 13, Isaiah White.
Isaiah White did not play against Trinity. He had the day off, but he played against St. Xavier on Tuesday and went 1 for 3 with an RBI and a walk. As he fouls back the first pitch from O'Donnell, 0-1. White trying to turn things over to the leadoff man Dylan Head with a runner on. One from O'Donnell. Good pitch on the outside corner. He's done a good job of commanding that early in this game. Has him ahead in the count on White, 0-2. Breaking ball, not a breaking ball, fastball on the outside corner. Gets White looking on 3 pitches.
2 outs in the inning.
That's going to be the second out of the top of the third. Bottom of the third.
Head.
But it turns the lineup card over for number 1, center fielder, Dylan Head. He swings and hits one right back to O'Donnell. So 2 fine plays by O'Donnell on balls hit right back to him. Have the Vikings go 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the third inning. And at the end of the third, it's the Celtics 3 and the Vikings 1. A very quick moving game has the Celtics half of the top of the fourth. Celtics half of the fourth.
They're going to be led off by number 20, Eddie Olsta.
Their leadoff man will be the third baseman, Eddie Olsta. He'll face Vince Waterman back out on the mound for his 4th inning of work. Cut and a miss from Olsta. The last hitter in the Celtics lineup bounced out to Corey Malling at second, his first time up in the 2nd inning. 0-1 from Waterman. Good pitch just below the zone, evening the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 from Waterman. It's poked down the right field line. Heidelberg will have no play. 1-2. So Waterman ahead in the count, 1-2. That ball in the dirt evens things at 2-2. The way things are going right now, folks, we might have our first sub 2-hour game. 2-2 to Ulster is low and in, bringing the count to a full 3-2.
2 hours. Probably score 7 runs.
Full count pitch to Ulster. Line singled right back up the middle. That one was a ground ball. Hit right back past Vince Waterman. He had no play on it.
Single up the middle. Carrying the lineup over for the Celtics. Shortstop number 21, Nolan Yalla.
The leadoff man, Nolan Galla, stepping to the plate now. He's doubled and walked in his 2 trips to the plate so far today. Galla calls time. Galla's last ball in play was a ground ball to Nico Bilgi that just was out past his sliding mitt. But if he hits another one to Nico Bilgi, I'm going to guess that the Vikings are going to turn 2 on it, because Bilgi's positioned about where he should have been to make the play in the top of the first. But Waterman is behind in the count 1-0 to Galla. As Galla taps one foul. 1-1. The top 4 batters in the Celtics lineup have combined for 4 of their 6 total hits. Pickoff attempt. Ulster in there safely.
Did we get him? Got him. Can't say that over the microphones.
Count is even, 1-1 to Galla. As he punches one opposite field, Ballard coming in on it, he'll have no play. A little inside-out swing there from Galla, has his second hit of the day for the Celtics. And the Celtics themselves have runners on first and second, and nobody out
For the Celtics,
for Enzo and Felice, the catcher.
Enzo and Felice.
Catcher is 2 for 2 on the day with 2 hard-hit singles. One was off the center field wall, one was into left field.
Triple play with this guy.
He's got 2 RBIs on the day.
I know you're running.
Big whiff there from Enfelice.
He's trying to tie it or take a bigger lead there.
Waterman, 0-1 pitch. In the dirt, good block by Moore. Evening the count at 1-1. If Waterman can get a ground ball to somebody, is a double play candidate, as Enfelice pops that one foul, 1-2. That fastball jammed him, got in on his hands.
Ground ball to third baseman.
Waterman ahead in the count, 1-2. The pitch.
There we go.
Hit on the ground to Bilgi. Foul.
Too soft and crooked.
If that had been fair, Bilgi's only play would have been to first, as I was too softly hit to go anywhere else but first. As Ulster was already a quarter of the way to third, more than a quarter of the way, probably like half, maybe even 2/3. But that ball's hit into right field. Ballard calling for it. He'll make the play. And that's going to be the first out of this Celtics top of the 4th.
Out of the inning. Next up for the Celtics, DH number 7.
Gavin Gomez, the DH, stepping to the dish now. He's 0 for 2 on the day. He's flied to right and grounded to second. Another one of those ground balls to second would be well appreciated by the Vikings. As he watches a curveball inside, ball 1. Moore wanted that one outside, but then had to reach across the plate to get that one. Didn't frame it how he likely would have wanted to. Gomez lines one into right field. Ballard will watch it drop in front of him, and that's going to load the bases. So three bloop singles, two bloop singles and one hit back up the middle. Have the Celtics with the bases loaded and one out here in this top of the fourth.
Bases loaded. Next up for the Celtics, number 2, Jude Allen.
It's going to send the first baseman, Jude Allen, to the dish now. He's singled to left for his only hit of the day. He grounded out to second his last time up. He takes ball 1 from Waterman. Vikings bringing the corners in with Heidelberg playing in on the green turf. Bilge playing on the cut of the grass, as that one is grounded foul, 1-1. If anything is hit to those corner infielders, they're going to come home with it. And then Moore's probably going to try and fire over to first base to get a double play. But the middle infielders, however, if any ball is hit to them, they're going to try and turn a double play from second to first, ending the inning regardless. Count is 1-1 on Allen. That is ball 2 in the dirt. Celtics trying to blow this game wide open. They can with one swing of the bat. 2-1 from Waterman. Upstairs, 3-1. Bases loaded walk is never what you want to see. 3-1 to Allen. Is upstairs, and that is going to be a bases loaded walk for the first baseman, Jude Allen, and it's going to net the Celtics their 4th run of the day.
4th run of the day for the Celtics. Crosses the plate, brings up the pitcher, number 1, Nate O'Donnell.
Celtics have scored 1 in every inning so far. It's been exactly 1 in every inning. Nate O'Donnell stepping in now. The pitcher is 0 for 2 on the day. He's bounced to third 2 times. He watches strike 1. If he can bounce to third again, Bilge can end this inning. He can just step on third and fire across the diamond to first base. Sends one down the right field line. That ball's well hit, and that ball is going to get down, and that is going to score at least 2, and only 2. But Nate O'Donnell's first hit of the game is a 2 RBI double, extending this Celtics lead to 6-1.
2 for the Celtics. Next up, second baseman, Pierre Dene.
Pierre Dene, the second baseman, stepping in now for the Celtics. He's struck out and walked on the day. The Vikings going infield in now, trying to cut down Allen at third. Dene sprays one foul. 0-1. We've seen the Vikings score more than 6 runs in 3 of their last 4 games. They scored 8 against Marist, 9 against St. Xavier the second game, and then 12 against Trinity. That one was 58-footer from Waterman. Good block by Moore, evening the count at 1-1. But the point is, this game is far from over. This Vikings offense can score 5 runs in 5 batters. 1-1 from Waterman. In the dirt, ball 2. Two one from Waterman. High and out, 3-1. Waterman trying to avoid loading the bases for the 3rd time this inning. 3-1 to Dene. Is above the zone, ball 4. And it will load the bases on Dene's second walk of this game.
Thank you.
And now we will see a mound visit from pitching coach Vince Davis. Waterman has struggled with control here in this 4th inning. He's got 4 walks on the day, 2 of which have come in the last 3 batters. He'll face the man who has singled twice off of him, Jacob Garcia. He singled to left and center on the day. One of those would give the Celtics at least 1, possibly even 2.
One out in the inning. Brings up number 22, Jacob Garcia.
Garcia steps in. First pitch from Waterman is in the dirt. Moore knocks it down. Ball 1. Garcia trying to give the Celtics even more of a lead. Can blow this game wide open with 1 swing. He was trying to do that there. Came up empty, 1-1. Count is even, 1-1. As that ball's high and upstairs. 2-1 from Waterman to Garcia. Celtics have scored 3 here in this top of the 4th, threatening to add more. That ball's off the plate. 3-1. Waterman trying to avoid his second bases loaded walk of this top of the 4th. He will on that pitch, bringing the count to a full 3-2. But he's still in danger of that full count bases loaded walk. Full count from Waterman. It's in the dirt, and that will be his second bases loaded walk of the inning. And that is going to be the Celtics' 7th run of the game.
Celtics plate another run in the inning. Brings up the right fielder, number 5, Lucas Winters.
Lucas Winters stepping to the dish now. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout and a sacrifice bunt. He waves and misses at that pitch. 0-1. A 1 from Waterman. Breaking ball in there for strike 2. Waterman can get his 3rd punch out of the game. If he can set down Winters on strikes. Winters has already been a victim of it. He will not be on that pitch. 1-2. Warming up down the right field line for the Vikings is number 30, Trent Roseborough. Winters fouls that one back, keeping the count at 1-2. We've seen Roseborough follow Waterman in 3 of his starts so far this year. This ball 2 to Winters is high and in, evening this count at 2-2. So Waterman had him 0-2. Now it's even 2-2. He's got to make sure he doesn't lose him here. As that one is grounded foul. Almost hit Nate O'Donnell over there on 3rd base. Oh, not Nate O'Donnell. He has a courtesy runner. We'll check who that is. That's number 27, Mitch Volz on 3rd base. That one is grounded, and that one is fair. past a dive of Nico Bilgi, and that's going to score Volts and Dene from second base. And it's going to be a double for Lucas Winters. And the Celtics add their 8th and 9th run. That's going to be it for Vince Waterman. The lefty went 3 1/3 innings. He will now turn things over to Trent Roseborough. This is a Vikings pitching staff that is already depleted, with Carter Green going down for the year. He underwent successful Tommy John surgery yesterday, and David Anderson walked off holding his arm against St. Xavier on Tuesday. Hopefully it won't be Tommy John like Carter Green. But as Trent Roseborough warms up, we'll step out and be back with more Vikings baseball. Trent Roseborough on the bump now for the Vikings. The junior right-hander will have to face the man who started this inning. Eddie Olsta. The third baseman grounded to second and singled to center is 2 times up.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we're still holding on hope for the MRI to give us a medical reading. It doesn't look great.
First pitch from Roseborough to Olsta is in the dirt. Ball 1.
We're going to 2. We're going to Joy and we're going to Romeo. Romeo is the White Sox guy.
Okay, good. Push Joseph.
Yeah,
Olsta lines one into center field gap. That ball's hit well, and that ball's going to go. Eddie Olsta homers to left center field, and it gives the Celtics their 10th, 11th, and now 12th run of the ball game. They get 9 runs here in this top of the 4th inning, and the lead is 12-1. It's going to turn the lineup card over yet again for the shortstop, Nolan Galla. First pitch from Roseborough's upstairs. 1-0. That 1-0 pitch from Roseborough's off the plate. 2-0. Galla is 2 for 2 on the day with a walk. He's threatening to add another one. 3-0. And he will add another walk. It's the second walk of Nolan Galla's day. He has reached base in all 4 of them. And Trent Roseborough is going to get pulled now. So we'll have a new pitcher coming into the game.
Bilgy, short. Robert Tate.
We'll see who it is, and then we'll step out.
Short at third. Tate at short. Corey Long at second.
Eddie Ulsta homered to left, and Nolan Gallo walked, and that is going to be it for Trent Roseborough. Jack Barry gets the ball for the Vikings. He'll face Enzo and Felice. When we come back, we'll step out and be back with more Vikings baseball. First batter for the new pitcher, Jack Barry, is going to be the catcher, Enzo and Felice. He's 2 for 3 on the day. He's singled and flied to right. He has made the only out of this top of the 4th inning so far. He watches ball 1, low and outside. One 0 pitch from Barry. It's a breaking ball. Bends in there for strike 1. Barry is a junk ball pitcher. He's got a curveball, a slider, and a slurve. It's sort of a mix between them. And he's also got a changeup. Count is even, 1-1 to Felice. Pickoff attempt.
Now pitching for the
Gallup
Vikings,
back in there safely.
17, senior Jack Barry.
That's 1 year disengagement.
If you keep track.
Count is even, 1-1. It's that curveball off the plate, 2-1. Barry comes set. 2-1 pitch. Hit on the ground to Bilgy. Bilgy up with it, fires to Mulling at short. Good. Mulling cannot come up with it, and everybody's going to be safe. So the Vikings do not get any outs on that play. It's going to send Gavin Gomez to the dish with 2 runners on and 1 out.
For DH, number 7, Gomez.
Number 10 is the pinch runner first.
That's likely going to be an error on Nico Bilgy at third, excuse me. He one-hopped that throw to second base. Ryan Hussey is the pinch runner for Enfelice. That first pitch to Gomez is fouled down the first base line. 0-1. This inning has seemed to go on forever. Celtics have scored 9. Only have 1 out in the inning. 0-1 from Barry. Gets Gomez to chase a ball in the dirt. 0-2. way ahead in the count, 0-2 to Gomez. Gets him to foul one off himself, keeping the count at 0-2. If Barry can get Gomez to roll one over to Corey Malling at second base, he can fire to the shortstop, Rob Tate, who can then fire to Demir Heidelberg at first for an inning-ending double play. Or Barry can just get Gomez to whiff, and that's the second out of this top of the fourth inning.
Brings up the cleanup man, number 2, Jude Allen.
Jude Allen, the first baseman, stepping in now for the Celtics. He walked earlier in this inning. He's grounded to second and singled to left in his other 2 at-bats. And he's going to take a curveball off his back. It didn't even move. That curveball backed up on Jack Barry. And the bases are going to be loaded now for Nate O'Donnell. He's one for 3 on the day with 2 RBI double to right field. That started the scoring here in the fourth, and it has not stopped since. He grounds one towards Bilgi. Bilgi cannot come up with it, and that's going to be another run for the Celtics. It's 13-1. That's probably going to be a hit for O'Donnell, as it would have been a tough play for any base for Bilgi.
Celtics play another run. Next up, number 11,
Pierre Dene stepping to the dish now. He's 0 for 1 on the day with 2 walks. He walked earlier in this inning. Came around to score on Lucas Winter's RBI double. He takes strike 1. Bases loaded now for the second baseman. Big swing and a miss there from Dene. Has a count 0-2 on him. So Barry ahead in the count, 0-2. Tapped towards Bilgi. Bilgi charging off his glove. And that's going to be another run for the Celtics. That ball had a lot of spin on it as it just went off Dene's end of the bat and just spun out there towards third. The turf does not help, as with this turf, the ball sort of keeps its spin direction. As with grass, it'll hit it, but then the grass will stop all that spin, and it'll either stick or it'll continue rolling at a normal pace, as that one is upstairs to Jacob Garcia. He's 2 for 2 with a walk on the day. Garcia hits one on the ground to short. Tate throws to Malling, and it's going to be a fielder's choice to finally end this top of the fourth. But the Celtics score 11 in this top of the fourth. They send 17 batters to the plate, and 11 of them score. So through 3.5, it's the Celtics 14 and the Vikings 1. Leading off this bottom of the fourth inning, it's going to be the pinch hitter, Bennett Reich. He watches strike 1 from O'Donnell, He lines one down the left field line. That's going to be a single for the leadoff man, Bennett Reich, here in this bottom of the 4th inning. And he's going to try for second, and he's going to be in there with a hustle double. And Bennett Reich
Doubles to left field.
starts this Vikings bottom of the 4th inning.
Brings up number 0, the pinch hitter, Luke Griggs.
Luke Griggs batting for Jason Ballard now. Bennett Reich batted for Rob Tate. Griggs gets jammed, pops it up. Allen calls for it at first, loudly, and makes the play. The DH, Preston Lund, stepping to the dish now. Lund homered to left his last time up. That was the only Vikings run of the game, and Lund has now homered in 2 straight for the Vikings. He watches strike 1. Vikings have some work to do if they want to get back in this game. That one gets away from Enfelice, and Bennett Reich is going to move up 90 feet. Evens account at 1 ball and 1 strike. One from Lund just popped up on the infield. Gala calling for it. He'll make the play. So the second out of this Vikings bottom of the 4th inning is a pop-up to the shortstop Gala.
2 outs in the inning. Pinch hitting for Corey Mullen. It's number 11, senior Caden Wesley.
Caden Wesley stepping to the plate now in place of Corey Mulling. It is Caden Wesley's 18th birthday today, so happy birthday to the big man K. Wes, as they say. He takes strike 1 from O'Donnell. He checks his swing, 1-1. Wesley fouls that one off himself, 1-2. You would like a nice little birthday RBI for Caden Wesley. It's probably all he wants today. He gets struck out looking. That's not a very nice birthday gift by the pitcher Nate O'Donnell. That's going to end the Vikings half of the 4th inning. So at the end of the 4th, the Vikings have some work to do. They're down 13 to the Celtics. Still on the mound for the Vikings in this Celtics half of the 5th inning is Jack Barry. He'll face the 8-9 and leadoff man in this Celtics lineup, Lucas Winters, Eddie Olsta, and Nolan Gala.
Barry back on the mound for the Vikings here in the top of the 5th.
This is not Lucas Winters. They've got some pinch hitters entering the game. Can't see his number. I believe this is number 8, A.J. Vinci. No, this is number 99, Sammy Atkinson.
Pinch hitting for the Celtics, number 99, Sammy Atkinson.
He's ahead in the count on Barry, 1-0. Good breaking ball there from Barry. Evens the count at 1-1. Fastball there from Barry. Has him ahead in the count 1-2. 1-2 count. Sends one on the ground to short. To second base. Mulling scoops it up and fires to Heidelberg for the first out of this top half of the 5th inning. Stepping to the plate now is number 14, Alberto Moreno.
One on the inning. Celtics send to the plate. Pinch hitter number 14, Alberto Moreno.
Moreno will pinch hit for Eddie Olsta. He'll send one on the ground to short. Tate, backhand play. Up with it, fires across his body. That's a great play by Rob Tate. A one-hop throw to Heidelberg at first. And that's going to be the second out of this top half of the 5th inning. Great play by Tate.
Another pinch hitter for the Celtics, number 34, Bobby Cutt.
Pinch hitting now for Nolan Galla is number 34, Bobby Cutt. So Jack Barry looking to send the Celtics down 1-2-3. As a curveball has him ahead in the count 1-0-1. Barry winds. The 0-1. Swing and a miss by Cutt. One would say a cut and a miss. Barry ahead in the count, 0-2. And another swing and a miss from Cutt. And that's going to be the first 1-2-3 inning for the Vikings here in this top of the 5th inning. In the middle of the 5th inning, the Vikings still have some work to do. They need at least 4 to avoid the mercy rule. It's 14-1, Celtics over Vikings. Now pitching for the Celtics here in this bottom of the 5th inning is the left-hander A.J. Vinci. He'll face Chris Webb to start this bottom of the 5th. Webb will bat for Demir Heidelberg.
Chris Webb.
That first pitch from Vincey is off the plate, 1-0.
Dylan, do you remember Tony Pena? No?
Vincey comes set, 1-0 to Webb. Inside corner, 1-1.
He was a baseball guy.
1-1 from Vincey. Webb taps it off of catcher Mike Roberson's foot. Roberson electing to go with the one-leg extended stance as opposed to the straight crouch. Some catchers do that. Makes it comfortable. 1-2 on Webb. Webb stays alive. 1-2. Elijah Rainey waits on deck. He'll pinch hit for Josh Moore. So Coach McCarthy just taking all the starters out, electing to give the bench some reps. Providence has done the same. As that 1-2 pitch from Vincey is in the dirt, evening the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So it looks like we are headed for our first sub 2-hour game, but it does not look like it's going to go the full 7 innings. Unless the Vikings can score 5 and extend this game. That ball's upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Excuse me. Vikings only need 4 runs to prevent the mercy rule. That 3-2 pitch was off the plate for Chris Webb, and he has a leadoff walk.
Deep traffic, Vikings. Next up, number 4, pinch hitter Elijah
Now batting
Rainey.
number 4, Elijah Rainey.
David and him got awards at the end of one of the games. And the picture on Twitter is wow. Like David, whose legs have gotten a lot bigger lately. Standing next to Elijah.
Rainey sends one into right field, and that's going to get down. Webb is going to be waved towards 3, and that's going to be back-to-back base runners to start this bottom of the 5th inning. Can't score 4 without getting at least a few runners on.
Sharply advancing to third on the plate is Webb. Another pinch hitter for your Vikings is number 12, Jacob Gunn.
Now batting, pinch hitting for the Vikings, Jacob Gunn. Gunn batting for the third baseman, Bilgi. Gunn follows the first pitch back from Vincey. Isaiah White still waiting on deck. He's not getting replaced as of yet. He could get called back in the dugout, but Jacob Gunn not stepping to the plate. He isn't at the plate. He takes ball 1, evening the count at 1-1. One from Vincey. Cut and a miss from Gunn. Has him behind in the count 1-2. Gunn behind in the count 1-2. Pitch from Vincey. Hit on the ground past Vincey. They'll have only 1 play, and Gunn is thrown out. That's going to be the first out of this bottom of the 5th inning, but a run does score on the play as Chris Webb scored from third. Elijah Rainey advances to second, and Isaiah White stepping to the plate now.
13 left fielder Isaiah White.
White struck out his first time up. Pitch from Vincey. Tapped foul. That one was a little bit too close for comfort towards leadoff man Dylan Head, who waits on deck. That's the most important player in this Vikings lineup. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. A 1 to White. Off the plate, 1-1. If Isaiah White can get on, Dylan Head would represent the run that would stop the mercy rule. That pitch is tapped foul yet again, 1-2. White behind in the count, 1-2 to from Vincey. Pitch from Vincey. Off Isaiah White's hands, keeping the count at 1-2. A late swing decision there from White. Was just able to foul it off. White trying to avoid being sent down on strikes for the second time today. But he's got a 1-2 count on him. Pitch from Vincey. Upstairs. And that should be the third strike. And that is going to be, I believe that's going to be on the swing. So it's going to turn the lineup card over now for Dylan Head.
Number 1, Dylan Head.
Head has bounced out twice today, once to the first baseman and once to the pitcher. He's trying to avoid going hitless for the first time in any game of his Viking season. He's going to foul that first pitch back. Head is now tied for second in the Vikings home run leaderboard after Preston Lund's third home run came earlier in the game. Good pitch there from Vincey. Has him ahead in the count, 0-2. Head trying to avoid striking out to end this game. He's behind in the count, 0-2. Pitch from Vincey. Hit on the ground to short. Head using his speed, and he's going to be there at first base. That's probably going to be E6, but for the sake of it, I'm going to call it a single, as his speed was going to have an impact on that play. The shortstop had to hurry himself, so his speed did impact that.
For your Vikings, it's senior number 14, Nate Locker.
Nate Locker stepping to the plate now. He's going to bat for Rob Tate, or excuse me, Bennett Reich, who did bat for Rob Tate. He watches strike one. So now Locker represents the run that would stop the mercy. He watches ball one off the plate. Evening the count at 1-1. Vincey trying to end this game for the Vikings. One pitch. Fouled down the right field line. 1-2. Locker trying to extend this inning to Jason Ballard, who waits on deck. Ballard is 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. As Locker waves and misses, and that is going to do it for this game. The Celtics of Providence beat the Vikings of Homewood-Flossmoor 14-2. an 11-run top of the fourth inning contributed to that. So the Vikings' losing streak is now 5,
All we can ask.
and
Send us some
the
good
Providence winning streak is now 5.
the rest of it will-
The
Yeah.
Vikings, the Vikings' next game is Monday.
Say hey to Kelly, Mike. Happy
It's
Easter.
at home against Andrew. So if you can't come out to the ballpark for that game, you can tune in right here. Subscribe, turn on the notification so that you get notified when we go live. But for everybody here at the Homewood-Flossmoor Vikings baseball team, I'm Dylan Barnes. Have a great day, everybody.